Welcome back, awesome Action Toy fans and subscribers. We are Saturday the 21st of December 2024 and a big box of Joy Toy unexpectedly came today, and it is all Warhammer the Horus Heresy and is all Blood Angels. So let's get a look. You start this one at the top. Crimson Paladins squad. Ooh. And this is with the Eliastrous Assault Cannon. I think I pronounced that correctly. Let's put a bit of light on that. Looks pretty good. Then we have the Crimson Exemplar. Looks very, very cool. Put back over there. And then we have our Paladins 1, 2, and 3. So number 1 is this one just here. Looks nice. Number 2 here. Let's get a quick look on the back as well. Lots of ornate details there. Number 3 is the one on top. It's got a lot of weight to it. I worry those shields me a bit heavy, but very cool looking. And then we have our Contemptor-Dreadnought, which is the 3rd or 4th Contemptor. We've had Space Wolf, Sons of Horus, we've had Thousand Suns, and now this one. So I think it's the 4th. Could be the 5th Contemptor-Dreadnought. Does look nice, has to be said. Very, very cool. With a huge jetpack or rocket pack on the back. Okay, I'm going to unbox these. It will take me probably about 10-15 minutes and set them up. I'll be back in an instant with the first look. Stay tuned. And here they are, just about fitting into my camera here, my screen. They look really, really good together. Now I've obviously put the Contemptor-Dreadnought in the middle, the exemplars on the far left. They look really, really nice, and they're using that same shoulder articulation system that we've seen on the other Terminators. So that's going to be really, really good. We know it's going to be a lot better than the standard, or the standard Space Marines, or the old version Terminators. Very, very cool. Accessories, all the guys, obviously not the Terminator, come with alternate hands. So they come standard with the right trigger, left gripping. They come with right gripping and left trigger alternate. Otherwise, what you see is what you get. I haven't put the shields on 3 of them. So look at the shields for this guy here. This is the one with our whatever cannon. There's that Eliastrous, I think, cannon. This is his shield. It's a very nice looking shield. I want to show you the system on the back. Very nice detail. It's actually different on the handles. This one is not on that ball sort of turning, rotating joint now. It's got a little cutout there which will go around there. It's on a little slot. And it just pushes in. And having that big strap to go over there, sort of end of their forearm, the upper part of their forearm, makes a big difference to keep it secure. But these shields look really good. Now, this shield, obviously you can see I've got a bit of paint chipping or paint seepage on there, but that's minor. It looks very nice in the details. Our Paladin 2 from the end, his shield's like the Exemplar, except it's got a different name there. As opposed to saying Glory, it says Baal, and the face is a little bit different too, but looks nice. That same system with the handle on the back. In fact, I think they're probably all the same on the back, and I need to change that. It looks very, very cool. But this one is missing paint. Just seeing that's missing gold paint there, where this one has. And then this one has the paint. Interesting. And this one, Angelus, looks pretty cool. I'm going to check the other shield in a second as well, see if it's missing the paint effect. I'll bring them in for a close look in a second, and I'll check them. Before that, please consider joining the Patreon, link on the top right of your screen over where? Where's my finger gone? Over here now. Get to see all the videos before the pubs on YouTube, exclusive content from time to time, and prize draws too. Next prize draw will be in February, end of February. Worth checking out because it's free for 7 days, so it's no obligation to continue or to pay, so it's worth looking at that. Okay, let's bring in our Exemplar for a close look. And same with him, they've not painted that little part gold on his shield. In fact, he appears to have a lot, or just that part. In fact, these guys don't have that long bar painted gold in the middle. This one does. curious. Maybe that same work person thinking, you know what? It's quicker. Okay. Close look at the exemplar. His face seems to have a lot not painted on the actual mask part over his mouth there. The weapon looks nice. It's 2 pieces to assemble. Shield is very, very cool. Turn around, see there's some inking. Nice, but it does need more paint apps. But it's a very nice looking figure nonetheless. I'll do all the men first and I'll do the Contemptor last. Next is our one with the, I'm trying to pronounce this properly, Astius assault cannon maybe. This has got so much matte black going on. It looks kind of cool, but it needs dry brushing with a silver or something to make it pop a bit more. The barrel does rotate, which is nice. It's got a more unique head sculpt with that part there. Does look good. Go to our Paladin 1, who still says sang. He likes singing, obviously. Here we go there. See how they hold the shield there. Looks very nice. Again, quite heavy on the inking on that edge there. You see that should be more highlighted, not inked on that part, but happy for the inking nonetheless. Let's bring in our Paladin number 2. Does look good. Nice looking figure. Interesting that these parts go into the cavity where they connect. Very, very visible on the exemplar. And then lastly of the guys, Paladin number 3. It looks particularly cool with that armor. Again, heavy inking we've got on the hand there. Nice. Okay, let's look at the Contemptor Dreadnought. Not a huge difference to some of the other things we've seen before, except for obviously on the back it's got a great big rocket pack, stroke jet pack, stroke jump pack. Nice details on the legs. That inking on that gold looks fantastic. Got a bit of paint chipping there. It's got some decal work there. Needs some more dry brushing on part of the legs, I think. Some dry brushing on the guns in his hands look good. Looks nice there. We turn around, see some more decals on the side. That rocket stroke jetpack looks fantastic. It needs a bit of, it's got some discoloration from the actual inking. It needs more, but it does look good. Very, very cool indeed. So articulation, I'll do one of the men to be the same, and it's going to be no, well, hardly any difference to any of the other sort of Horus Heresy terminals we've seen before. And then we'll look at the Contemptor, which will be not much difference to any of the Contemptors either. They'll do a size and comparison. So let's do our Paladin 3. Let's take his gun out. It's worth noting that their hands are those nice hands where they hold firm, but it's actually quite easy to bend the fingers and they'll come back to place quite rapidly. But it's not super soft and it's not sort of brittle. So head, you can go side to side. You can turn, but with that sort of ornate hood part, it's a bit difficult. And you can have a small forwards and backwards. Shoulders all the way around. They've got a fantastic shoulder roll. The pauldron is articulated. You can go like that and you can go back up, and that makes a big difference to getting his arms to articulate. Don't break, please. There you go. So you can get a flat on the arms because we can move the pauldron out the way. Bicep bend, you won't get really that much of a bend because he's huge forearm armor. You can see he limits the bend. So he's getting the angle from there to there is actually around about 90. It doesn't look it because the way the forearm is, but it's nearly 90 degrees, around 90 degrees. You can get a bicep swivel as well, and the hands on the ball, so we get articulation in all directions and we can turn. Trunk is separate, so you can go side to side, forwards, backwards, and turn, side to side, forwards, backwards. Waist is separate, side to side, forwards, backwards. Together is, particularly backwards with the hips, is amazing. Forwards, he could actually sit down at 90 degrees just about with his legs, which is really damn good for such a bulky figure too. Then sideways is not great, but it's okay. This sort of limits the articulation, impedes it. Hips, we can pull down and push up, so we can make it actually taller and shorter, but also if you pull it down, you get a greater range of motion in most of the hip positions. You really need to pull it down for the side splits. That's as much as he can do. If it's pushed up, he gets less than that. Forwards though, look at that. He's getting over flat. Kick to like over an average human's face almost. Very good. Backwards, it goes out to the side, but still you can see that he could do a full splits in theory. If you look inside, you see the metal alloy joints as well, which is nice. There's a thigh twist, so double kneecap, and even with his chunky knees and chunky lower legs, he should get, there we go, 90 degrees at least. Then feet, you can got a nice tight swivel or turn, good swivel in and out. Really good tippy toe, but you can see that joint's a bit ugly like that. Dorsiflexation is not bad, and they have toe articulation. Toe articulation is actually pretty good on this sculpt, and I say good because it's stiff. There's not a lot of movement, but it's stiff, so it actually holds the pose. So it's pretty damn good. Now, when we see the Contemptor Dreadnought now, he has toe articulation, but it's like pointless because it's not stiff. It can't actually hold his weight or a pose, which is a shame. It could be awesome. So if I bring in our Contemptor, it'd be a bit more difficult to do. Is move over this way a little bit. Top to bottom, head forwards, backwards, side to side. You can turn, but that's a bit tricky without having the space. Now, if you want to know how the head and stuff is attached, I will show you in a second when I'll do the comparison. Because you can actually take the chest plate off some of them. You see that a bit later. Back. Oh, this is so cool. Didn't realise that. The rocket nozzles are articulated. That's fantastic. So you can get like a real sort of posing. There's no flight stand for them. That'd be awesome with a flight stand. But having that with articulation is a fantastic little feature. Well done, Joy Toy. Arms all the way around. Again, he's got a fantastic shoulder, especially backwards here because there's an ugly gap there. And forwards, the shoulder roll is good. And it comes out. Lateral raise, there is a articulation in the pauldron. He gets flat, nice, and stiff. Same on the biceps. There's a ratchet. It gets 90 degrees. There is a turn. Oh, see this one. His chest plate's coming off. There we go. Don't worry, it's not broken. It just goes in nicely. See how it's attached. The head can actually be pulled off or actually slid out if you wanted to. And you can do the same on the other ones too. If you pull it, it will come. You don't want it to happen, you can just glue it into place if you so desire. I quite like the fact that I can take it off. Okay, so hands, the guns and the claws rotate on the ratchet, and you can open and close the claws because there's one joint there. Trunk, forwards, backwards, and turn, and there's a nice stiff side to side. There's no separate waist. What is there? Oh, there is. You can go from the top and from the bottom. So together, you get some decent action. He can sit flat because his legs can go up. So hips, full splits forwards and backwards. Sideways, super stiff. Be a bit careful. Not so far. It doesn't need to go far. Inwards, he can bring his sort of lower legs to touch. Kneecap is single on a ratchet, but it gets 90 degrees. Nice and stiff. Feet are stiff for the turn, stiff for the twist. There is a small tippy toe. There is a almost non-existent, I'm going to say, dorsiflexation. There is toes, but that won't support its weight. That's what I'm saying is a bit pointless. But it is nice looking. So again, if you do want to look inside, you can pull this and it slides out. And that's for the construction inside. just slots in for those 5 little shafts there. Now if I slot that in again, very easy to put in. You can glue that if you wanted to. Just put a bit of glue on those 5 little pins and it will stay in place, but I don't want to do that. Because I think it's easier to change the head if it's like this. Just put his arm up so it's not in the way. Okay, very cool. Okay, we'll come to size. These should be like 13 point, is it 4? Have a quick look. 13.6 cm it says on the box. So I'll take just our standard, well, our exemplar here. Is it going to be 13.6? It's going to be bigger. They normally go to the top of the head. We have a bit of a zoom in so we can see a bit clearer. Yeah, he's not way near 13.6. His hips are down, bear in mind, and he is about 14. He's around about 14.2, 14.3 cm. So around about nearly 5 3/4 inches. If I pull his hips down, he's going to gain some height. And now he is over 14.5. He's around 14.6, 14.7 cm. So the top of his head now is 5 3/4 inches. Very top of the figure is around 16.2, 16.3 cm. Around 6, between 6 1/4 and 6.5 inches. Let's put him back there. Then our Contemptor, which is 20 something they say. Let's have a look. Top of the head, I'm making it 22 and a bit, 22.5 cm, which is around about 8 3/4 inches. Very top of the figure, which is top of the engine stack at the back. That is 25, 26 cm, around 10 inches. Which you can't see, silly me. Let's do that again. Okay. Now, oops, let's put that back there again and then you can see. Okay, let's do a quick comparison. How to do this. I will take the Contemptor out first. I'll put him back in a second. So I'm going to use the same scale or the same sort of armor, Terminator armor, for my comparisons. First, I'll use a Thousand Suns Kabul, who looks very similar, and you see that it's basically the same tooling with a few changes here and there, but they do scale, as you'd expect, very, very well. Next up, let me use a Space Wolf's Horus Heresy Terminator. Again, some minor details, but it's basically the same tooling, basically. Looks pretty good. And now for something different. Someone asked the other day to see one of the new Joito Soro Expeditionary Forces exosuit figures scaled with a Space Marine. I'm doing with the Terminators, obviously. And here he is. He's actually bigger. So slightly different there. Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit. Let's take a couple of these guys away. In fact, I'll take 3 of them away. Here is our wants to fall over Contemptor. And I'll get the Sons of Horus one, who's more heavily armoured, but obviously not as good in close combat. Again, he wants to fall over. His ankle joints are nowhere near as stiff or as nice as the Blood Angels one. And the same thing here, you can just pull the chest plate and it will slide out. And you can see the construction if you want to. And it goes on very nice and easily. Okay, let's put them back. I think these are nice figures and they do make for a fantastic display. If you have to display your figures, posed or just standing up, these guys do look fantastic together. That has to be said. So it's a nice release, particularly if you're a Blood Angels fan or Horus Heresy fan in general. I think they look really, really good. I do like these. And again, I prefer the Horus Heresy stuff over most of 40k stuff because I think it looks nicer. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Okay, very cool. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys. I'm signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.